Hearing aid design has evolved a lot over the last 100 years, from ear trumpets to boxes connected to a pair of headphones, then chunky hearing aids that sat in or behind the ear, to today's devices that are nearly invisible in almost all cases, regardless of style. The pair that I'm wearing today sits behind the ear with a receiver wire that drops down into my ear canal, and I'd say about 95% of the people that I interact with would never know that I'm wearing a hearing aid. Today we're going to dig into the world of invisible hearing aids. We'll talk about the full range of technology, from custom mold devices to Bluetooth enabled devices, rechargeable devices. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll even talk to you about the smallest hearing aid in the world that actually stays in your ear 24/7. Let's get into it. In today's video, we're going to talk about the best invisible hearing aids on the market in 2024. But before we do that, let's take a step back and just take a look at hearing aid styles more broadly. Now, most people on the hearing aid market wear a receiver in canal device. That's the one that I'm wearing right now. It has that body that sits behind the ear and a wire that goes into the ear. People wear these for a few different reasons. The first is that the most advanced technology is typically found in these types of devices. They're Bluetooth streaming enabled. They have the most robust sound processing. They have room for some extra microphones to grab sounds from your environment and process those sounds. They're also very comfortable. Many of this style of hearing aid sit inside the ear with a kind of light touch and a rubber dome or a custom mold dome that is typically something you forget about very quickly when you have it in. Folks with severe or profound hearing loss may also opt for a BTE device, which sits in the same place behind the ear, but instead of a wire coming up over the ear, it's a tube, and that device can pump more sound at a higher decibel level, which might be appropriate for that person's prescriptive targets. Around 80% of hearing aid wearers choose one of these two styles that sit behind the ear. But there is a whole nother subset of folks who prefer an invisible device that sits inside their ear canal with no piece behind the ear. And those are the devices that we're going to talk about today. So we've broken our choices into basically three big categories. The first are prescription devices that you can only get at a local clinic. Some of them are custom molded to your ear canal, and one of them is not. Then we have a second grouping that is over the counter, so they're self-fit by you at home, a little bit more accessible, a little bit less expensive. And then we have a third option, which is the hearing aid that you sit deep inside your ear canal and you leave it in there 24/7. We'll talk about that option, kind of in a category of its own. Let's start with the products that you get at a local clinic. These would typically be called prescription hearing aid options. And the first brand we want to feature is Starkey Genesis AI. Now, Starkey has a long history of creating custom in-the-ear molded devices that are often invisible in the ear canal. Starkey creates each one of their devices as a one-for-one that matches with your ears, and they do a handcrafted process along with 3D printing to make sure that it can go deep into your ear canal. They're generally seen as the market leader for custom molded devices. Now, the sound processing inside of these hearing aids is very similar to what you would find in the Starkey Genesis AI behind the ear hearing aid, which is really advanced. They have AI powered technology. They have a lot of great sound algorithms. And depending on the size you choose, you can get Bluetooth streaming. Now, the absolute smallest Starkey product does not allow Bluetooth streaming. It's just sitting too deep inside your ear. But if you move up to the CRE-C model, which is still invisible in many ear canals, that product actually does stream Bluetooth, and it's the smallest Bluetooth streaming device on the market at this time. The second prescription product to consider is Oticon Own. Oticon is one of the most well-known hearing aid manufacturers in the world. Now, Oticon Own is not quite as small as Starkey Genesis, and their CRE-C does not include Bluetooth streaming, but it's still a solid product, and a lot of people swear about Oticon's sound processing quality. You can think of both of these products as very similar. They're both going to be custom molded into your ear. There will be an impression taken of your ear. That impression gets sent out to the manufacturer, and then the device comes back as a one-of-one. If you take a look here, you can see what a custom mold device looks like. Its impressions and indents are all to match my exact ear canal. This can be made at a number of different sizes, including very small sizes that are ultimately nearly invisible or totally invisible inside your ear canal. Now, if you don't want to go through the custom mold process, but you still want to work with a local clinic, you could consider the Signia Silk IX. It's a new product as of late 2023, and this product is nearly invisible in most ear canals. It's just a little bit larger than what you'll find with a custom mold device, but it has some advantages. One of the main advantages is that Signia Silk IX comes with a recharge case and it actually has rechargeable batteries. In the case of Starkey and Oticon, you'll need to change your batteries regularly to make sure that they have power. Instead of using a custom mold, Signia uses click sleeves at various sizes to fit different types of ear canals and get really deep inside the ear canal. So those are the 3 prescription products that we think should be on most people's shortlist: Starkey, Oticon, and Signia. Now you can consider other prescription leaders like Resound, Widex, or Phonak, but these are the 3 that we think are really the best in class at this time for this particular style. Now, if you're interested in getting a product over the counter, or you don't want to go into a doctor's office to get your hearing aids, but you still want to get invisible style devices, you do have a few options. The first and the most notable is Eargo. So Eargo 7 is a very unique device. It sits deep inside the ear canal. It's absolutely tiny. You can see what it looks like here. You can see what it looks like in my ear canal. Now, Eargo is really unique in a couple of different ways. One, it's a self-fitting device. You use an app to take a hearing test that ultimately programs the hearing aids. You can get support remotely from their team if you call in or text, and they can push remote updates. So there's a telehealth component. Now, one thing that's really unique about this product is that it's rechargeable. It's tiny, but it also has a recharge case that you can drop the hearing aids in. You get 16 hours of battery life on a single charge, lasts most people all day long. So it's a really good option. Now, it is a little bit more on the expensive side. Eargo is about $2,500 to $2,600, depending on the deals they're running at that particular time. Another option you have if you want to take a step down in price is the Sony CRE-C10. Now, this product is actually manufactured by the same group that makes the Signia Silk, which we just talked about. If you take a look at this product, it's tiny. Again, it's about the same size as the Signia Silk. It'll sit in your ear canal, nearly invisible. And some of the things that we like about this product are it's self-fit with a really simple app. It has some decent customization and programming using your smartphone, not quite as much as you'd get in a local clinic, but importantly, it's only $999, so less than $1,000 for a pair of products that are made basically by the same manufacturer that you would get a high-end prescription device through. Now, if you're looking for a device that's less than $500, our favorite option on the market is from MDHearing. Now, this device is by no means the best product on the market. It lacks a lot of major functionalities. It only has 4 presets versus an app that you can customize like some of the other products, but it's really simple to use when you pull it out of the box, and it has a solid technological foundation. And when you put it in your ear, it's not invisible. You can still see it, but it's small, and you're not going to feel like you're wearing something that's really chunky. Importantly, it's less than $500. If that's really what you have to spend, MD is our favorite option at that price point. All right, so let's talk about the last option on the list. It's certainly the most unique among the invisible hearing aid options that you will see, and that is the Phonak Lyric. Now, this device is totally different than any other one on the market. And the way it works is you go into a local clinic and you'll have a hearing aid placed deep inside your ear canal. Really, no one's going to see it. Even if they stare directly down your ear canal or even flash a light, they're not going to see that any device is in there at all. Now, it stays in your ears for around 6 weeks at a time, at which time you'll go back to your local clinic and you'll have the devices swapped out. You shower in these devices, you sleep in these devices, and they're totally invisible. And that's what people love about them. People also really love the analog sound, which comes through these devices and is kind of unique. Now, some people complain that they're uncomfortable, and other people complain that they don't manage background noise as well as some of the more sophisticated devices on the market. But there is no denying that if you are looking for truly invisible devices, Phonak Lyric is really the option that stands above the rest in terms of size and invisibility. Now, one important note is that Phonak Lyric is quite expensive. It costs about $4,000 a year. It's a membership typically, and you'll go in every 4 to 6 weeks to get your hearing aids swapped out at your local clinic. So you need to make sure you have time to do those things, but otherwise a lot of people love this product and really swear by it. So that's it for today. That's your list of the best invisible hearing aids on the market as of 2024, according to our research. These are our favorite products. If you have any others that we missed, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. We'd love to see you at soundly.com. Thanks and good luck with your research.